time, we are here.
We are here. Are we live?
We are live on LinkedIn. Hey, LinkedIn friends, family. We are live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So we want to have the broadest reach, obviously, to very important programs we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're joining us live, you're live. You can put it in the comments. And some of you may watch this after. That's okay. We'll still respond to your comments. But thank you for being with us today. I know that there's a lot of excitement around this program. And so we get a lot of questions about it every year. And we just thought we would take some time to share with you some of those questions and answers and how this program, with important dates and things like that. So, well, listen, welcome to the live broadcast. If you're just getting here, just shuffle into this digital auditorium as you gather your seat. Say hello in the comments. I see Bobby Joe. Good morning from Portland, Oregon. Say hello there.
We've got Gail. Hello, Gail. Thanks for joining us.
I don't get to see those. Oh, you're.
That's why I have it. Yeah.
Okay, great. I see him. I see a little delay here.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you that haven't met us, I'm Patrick Antrim. I'm the founder and CEO of Multifamily Leadership and chairman of the Multifamily Innovation Advisory Council. And Multifamily Leadership is an events, news, and media platform. And for us, it's where multifamily innovation, technology, investments, and leaders come together and converge around all things exciting in multifamily. I'm seeing more people joining.
Yeah, we've got Stacy, Jeanette, Catherine, Kate. Yes, and I'm Carrie Antrim, COO of Multifamily Leadership and co-founder of Multifamily Women. It's great to have you guys with us.
Do we need to do a plug for the Women's Summit?
We do always, of course. Hey, Andre from California. We've got Annapolis, Westchester County, New York, Orlando. We are coming at you from Scottsdale, Arizona. Yes, the Multifamily Women's Summit is coming up soon, September 7th and 8th. It's here in Phoenix. It's going to be amazing. You can go to multifamilywomen.com to get registered, sponsor, whatever you want to do, learn all the information. It's going to be a good time. Hey, Stacy Stemmen, thanks for being here. We've got Irving from Denver, Robinson from New Jersey. Wow.
Cool. All over. Yep.
That's awesome. Stuff. Yeah. All right. So let's get to it. First, I've got some important dates for the Best Places to Work multifamily program. The deadline for registration for this year's program is Friday. That's this Friday, August 12th, 2022. So to start the process, you need to go to multifamilyinnovation.com/awards, or you can just go to multifamilyinnovation.com, click on the awards button, and you'll see the page there. You're going to see a red button that says Get Started, Register Your Company for the upcoming program. When you start that process, you'll receive a confirmation email with next steps to the research site.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Our whole research team is going to handle everything. You'll be informed the whole way through the process.
So it's important to check your spam filters because in that email, we direct you to the research submission process. But listen, don't wait until the last minute because it gets crazy from our research teams, and you definitely don't want to miss this program this year. So do it today. We're going to answer all your questions, give you information here, and then after this, go get registered because you do not want to wait until Friday.
That's right. And Kathy has a question. Can you name the conference again? Okay, so we did a shameless plug. Carrie's producing.
I have no shame about plugging the Multifamily Women's Summit happening this September 7th and 8th in Phoenix, Arizona.
It's in a few days. I do a countdown for her. And
it's not in a few days. He makes me panic because every day he's like, how many days?
Yeah. So that's multifamilywomen.com for that event. But for what we're talking about here, in December, we'll be celebrating the Best Places to Work Multifamily at the Multifamily Innovation Summit. That's December 7th and 8th in Phoenix. It's an in-person event. And this is where these executives that get recognized and have built these great companies, they'll fly all over to come to Phoenix. They'll take the stage and get recognized for the great work that they're doing. And we'll do that at the Multifamily Innovation Summit. So this is the time to celebrate those companies that are getting it right. Shout from the rooftops those that are doing great things to build great organizations. So I want to give you a little bit of a background on the event, but also the awards program. We've been celebrating companies building what we call healthy organizations. This is like if you want to show up for the customer, right? And be a modern company, you have to understand it starts from the inside out. I think most of you already know that. That's why you're here.
That's why they're here, right?
Amazing people have registered and are involved in this stuff. So, but now this is 9 years that we've been doing this, and we've learned a lot, and we get better and better every year. Celebrations become bigger and better. And this year we have some surprises, some really unique experiences, but it's the official trusted program for the industry. You don't have to belong to anything, right? It's all encompassing. It's the whole industry. And so that's very important to know. Now, multifamily investors, you know, because when I was running portfolios, this is what I thought about. Is like, I'm like looking at who can put great people on site. That regional manager's ability to wedge that person, right? Like, who is that? And that's all. Companies are nothing more than a collection of people. And so multifamily investors are paying attention to these things now. They want to know that you can collect the right people and that you can get them engaged and you can take care of the real estate and also the investments they manage. And they know that you need to be able to bring the right technology, the right innovation, the right people together to make that happen. So this designation from the investment circle is significant because they're looking at this like, who should we manage, right? They're looking, it's a community. They're looking at where to place their capital, right? Who's going to manage the investments once we syndicate these deals and put these developments together? And they want to know that companies are committed to their long-term success of managing through what needs to be risk management in their case, right? So multifamily investors, that's one thing that a lot of people, I know they go through the program for different reasons, but I think, you know, obviously talent and recruiting and getting employee feedback, very important. And the celebration's amazing and fun. And it's a main event for us. It's not like something we add on. It's like, this is the main event. But, you know, it's interesting to see it continue to grow year over year. So
well, and it's a nationwide program as well. So it's not a regional; it's nationwide. Another thing to note is that companies are using this designation to support their recruitment efforts. Yep. They use it to attract the top talent, retain top talent is a big thing. And like you said, showcasing to their investors that they've built, you know, this amazing company that people admire, they want to work for. You know, maybe they're already winning where they are, but then they see this company doing great things and getting this designation, and they're like, oh, hey, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, and you know, let me share a quick story here for a minute. You know, the world has changed in terms of how we interact with each other and create value for organizations and for employees. And you know, it takes me back to, you know, we all grew up in a TV generation. You know, we all grew up watching movies and TV shows, and even if you think about it, going through school, children, you know, they aspire to be. They have big dreams, and you know, we have young children in school, and they paint beautiful pictures, and their imaginations are so amazing. And it starts when they're young. And they dream of things like being firefighters, police officers,
teachers,
school teachers, sports stars, the basketball players, baseball players.
Rock stars. We've got a rock star.
Yeah, and the thing is, they see those jobs. Those are just jobs. They see those jobs that are, in fact, as a school teacher, they literally are at the workplace.
Right.
Right. So like, there's children that are like, I want to be a teacher because I want to be able to tell people like, sit down and do, you know, like, I don't know what it is. But
but let me pop in because yesterday our 13-year-old daughter, she is now a teaching assistant. So she got she got to grade papers for an hour, and it was the greatest day of her life.
Yeah. She's on the other side. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so why I say that, it's very important to understand like talent. And when we say talent, I mean people that are wanting to work in organizations. They want to have an idea what it's like to work at the place that they're going to go into, right? And so, if we can do something to shout from the rooftops, these are the great companies. And you know, Stephen, can you grab me the magazine? I forgot to bring the magazine. I'm going to bring the magazine. If you hand that to Carrie, yeah. Thank you. So, what we do is it's not just like awards. Like we literally go through like
we collect all the best information about your company.
We highlight these companies. This is a kind of it sits in the lobbies in many cases of companies, you know. But we build out these profiles, and It's all about the team, the culture, and I know you get involved a lot with just the stuff that they do to engage their employees, what they go above and beyond. But it's a great way to get a look inside the organization before somebody makes a choice to become. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people tell us, "What is this multifamily thing? What is that?" Well, it's apartment.
Right. I've never heard that word.
Explain it.
What is that?
But so the media and the world hasn't really shown people that this is something that you can create an amazing career in. A third of Americans rent as it is. And we know technology, the jobs are getting more exciting. They're not like we're finding integrations and automations that are making investments that are making life more enjoyable through the work that they do. So I thought that was important to share. Like it's our duty, it's our obligation as an organization to attract leaders to an industry, and then of course to our company. But the only way to do that is to point them in a direction of these are the great companies that have done great things. So let me share a few powerful, what we call data points from the program that we already know. Did the air conditioning stop?
You better talk faster, because if that AC went off,
I will talk fast.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Or it's these lights, like it's the heat of the lights. But so let's go back to the data. And if you want to look, if there's any questions, you guys can. Put
no questions yet, but so many people saying hello. Texas, Nashville. Kelly Krasner, hello, good morning.
Kelly,
Orlando. Hey. So awesome. Thanks, guys, for saying hello.
Well, listen. All companies that have gone through the program, and I won't say all, but let's just look at the last program. Let's be more current. But among those companies, right, the list makers and the non-list makers, this means it doesn't matter if you made the list or not. Right. Like you just said, hey, I care about my employees' feedback, and that's a great indicator. Like, hey, we're going to listen, do some things. But those that went through the program, regardless if they made the list. Right? Regardless if they made the list, they just did the research. They made favorable progress by 17% in reducing their voluntary turnover.
That 17% is a huge victory for companies and employees. Yep. When you think of the average cost of employee turnover being $7,500, somewhere easy. Around there.
That's just probably recruiting cost, supervisor time.
Well, all the time spent onboarding.
Nobody answered the phone call for the customer. I mean, that's a
conservative guess. Yeah, I mean, that is just a huge financial number right there.
Yeah, and speaking of financial, one thing that we do is, because we do this research all at once, one time a year, we're able to make this affordable for all companies, right? That's something that we're committed to. Normally this type of research would cost you $7,000 to $12,000, and it's not even. I mean, we're getting people in there for a lot less than that, like maybe $600 or $700.
It just depends. It's a sliding scale.
Depends on your employee numbers and how many employees you have and stuff like that. But
we have a question that I'm ready to answer whenever you're ready.
What's the question?
The requirements to register.
Oh, well, get there? Let me, because I've got I'll go through, let's see. Yeah, we'll go through that. And then if I answer the question, we'll get to that as well. So, it's the data I share is important because there's a business case to this, right? And we know that reducing that voluntary turnover, and there's other data points that allow people to show up more for the customer, show up more for that investor, take care of that real estate, and get lift. So all business outcomes end up improving. So it's not just an awards program, right? It's literally truly research. People are making decisions off the data, which is what's exciting for me.
Decisions
that are being made.
This is what investors want, right? This is what drives companies forward.
It's those companies. They're committed to that.
They want
creating a healthy organization.
Workforce, right?
Yeah. No, I know that. I want the whole world to know that.
So I should be looking at them and not you.
No, you can look at me.
Just kidding.
You're
Christina, we will get to your question, I promise.
So let's go ahead and let's take a look at, let's just go through the research, what this is all about, and give you guys a better sense of how that plays out. One area that I'll start with the 8 key areas. In the can you have the magazine?
Yeah. Here, I'll find it while you talk.
It's the first page of the data. So it'd be the orange pages. data.
Oh, of the data.
Yeah.
I should know. Didn't I make this?
So like,
there we go.
In here, we have like these 8 key areas. So these are the summary of all there's like 77 some questions. So those 8 key areas, actually keep it open in case I forget what the 8 key areas are. So go ahead.
They're also here too.
Yeah. So
this page is prettier.
Oh, yes. Very cool. So what we start off with is the leadership and the planning. Right, so we're looking at, and there's subset of questions that go into all questions around, the organization's leadership and planning. We look at corporate culture and communications. We look at role satisfaction. Are people satisfied in the role that they have? Right. We look at the working environment, and listen, I know that's changed for a lot of people. The working environment is different. It's the technology that's coming is different, but we can still ask those questions about the environments. And another big one that we have is the relationship with the supervisor. And this is one of the leading indicators of an ability to move an organization forward or to get disengagement, and you end up with things going the opposite direction you want them to go. Is that relationship with the supervisor? We have subset of questions around that. We also have training and development. So this year over year is always something that employees are wanting more of, believe it or not. And the reality is it's becoming a little bit easier to do that, but at the same time, also more challenging. Oh, I'm going to close that out. More challenging. So training and development is something, as we ask the employees those questions, we can lean into what's working, what's not working, and how to get them on the track that they need to be on. And then we look at pay and benefits. So how are we paying? What are those benefits? And then all of those things together, we wrap it into sort of an overall engagement score. And that allows us to benchmark some really cool things, and you walk away with some really great survey that you can use to build your business. So that's pretty cool on that. I'm going to try and get out in front of maybe a question you may have is how the survey is broken down is you have the employer benefits and policies and procedures and all that. It's a questionnaire that the employer fills out. This is information they already have. All right, they already know how many employees they have, all that stuff. So it's really not a huge lift on those types of things, but it's 25% of the overall score. So it's like the employer, how they structure all those questions. And then 75% is the employee engagement and satisfaction survey, right? So we're looking at, 77 some questions. It's really a statement.
It's statements that they respond to.
Yeah, and we use what's called a Likert scale. So it's like strongly agree, strongly disagree, somewhat agree. So you end up being able to do more great things with that and make some great decisions. But it's about 77 statements that we present to the employees. And then what we also do is we give them 2 open-ended and demographic questions. Those questions, the open-ended ones employers love, they dive into those. And it's just an open feedback loop that otherwise you wouldn't have. You just, when you have one flow of income as an employee, it's hard to be candid without putting your job at risk. So this is a great way.
Well, it's totally confidential. There's no way, for any of that information to get through. So employees can feel comfortable in answering these open-ended questions, and even the like you were saying, the Likert scale questions. There's total comfortability for them to be able to answer. Real quick. I'm loving this. Everybody's saying hello. Paula from Seattle. Paula, are we going to see you at the summit next month? I'm excited. I think so. Marcus from Miami. Greg just says, great to be here today. Well, thanks.
It is great. It's great. I'm breathing. I'm in gratitude of where this has all come and the great people we get to share the time with. And it's pretty fun.
Yeah. So you mentioned that, the employer survey is like 70 or 25%. The employee is about 75. It's weighted because if you want to know if it's a great place to work, you got to ask the people that work there, right? True. So 75% of that weight is coming from your employees. And it's like we said, the survey is completely anonymous to the employee. Our research team sends it out. So it doesn't come from, your supervisor or your COO or anything like that, right? So that's very important to know. It comes from our research team.
That's correct. And, I would highlight how important that is. that the survey does not come from the supervisor or your own employer. I mean, think about that, right? Like, it's just you want to do that in any scenario, right? That's giving you the perspective, because you're really you want to rank and win the awards and all that great stuff. But the reality is, you're in this program because you care about your team, the success that you want to create together, and you know that investors are counting on you to do all these things. And with great data, we can make the right decisions. And so it's very, very important to understand, like, employees have single flow of incomes in many cases, and they're very cautious if they don't have that protection over their voice. So what we'll do is we'll analyze all these categories and all the research, really. And we'll take those 8 core areas, and what will happen is you'll end up with this insights report. It's a package. It's like an online portal you'll get, and makes it very efficient. And that's something that has evolved over the years with technology. So that's been pretty exciting.
Well, and once you receive all that data, there's multiple levels of like drill downs on the data. We've got heat maps, charts, graphs, however you want to view your data. I'm pretty sure you can view it. And like Patrick said, that helps you identify specific areas for growth. You can identify where a company is excelling, like, oh, wow, this is really working. Awesome. Let's do more of that, right?
Right.
You can see the percentage of positive and negative responses to those 77-ish questions. You can see the employee comments. It's really, you get all the data.
Yeah, and when we do the awards, we bring all that together, and they get to talk. Like, people are collaborating on some great things together.
Not that we don't release the data, like the specific, right?
No. Just, the bench, whatever,
the benchmark,
whatever they want to promote publicly is
I just
how
wanted
we
to
do
make that clear.
But again, organizations are using this to benchmark too as well. So measure internally. Right. And then you can even compare it to the industry as well. Like, how's the industry doing and how you're doing? It's a great way to know all the hard work is paying off.
Yeah.
But again, the most important part is that you get registered. Okay. It's this week. We just want to, I don't know if that's clear yet, but the deadline is this Friday. It's August 12th.
Yep.
And don't wait. Like Carrie said, do not wait. It's a rush of applications, and you don't want to miss out on it, right?
Yeah.
And so what'll happen is, once you get registered, you'll get an email. If you start on multifamilyinnovation.com/awards, you click the red button, you'll fill out a form, you'll get an email, and it'll give you another link to the how to start the process with the form and getting your everything paid and all the research stuff handled. And then once we open the program and we'll cut off the registration Friday. Once we do that, then our research team will be in touch with you with all the next steps. They're very, very good at doing this and getting you, down the road to make this to where it's not a distraction to the stuff you're doing.
Right. So, we've been doing this a long time. We are here to support you in the process. And we make a huge deal about this because it is a huge deal. Yeah. We put you in front of, 1.5 million monthly viewers on the largest media site in multifamily. We also have, which is exciting, our best places to work multifamily for women list. And in order to be on that list, you have to do this first. That's how we get that list, right? So after we announce the ranking,
so wait a minute, you have to make this list.
You have to be on the best places to work multifamily list in order to make the women's list. Yeah. So we'll be announcing, after we announce the ranking companies, we'll announce the women's list. And so you'll want to be sure to be at the Innovation Summit for that. That's where the big celebration is in December, and it's awesome. It's fun.
And we button up a lot of really cool experiences to really recognize and reward those companies for doing that stuff. It's been an exciting event. I'm glad we're back in person.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on in December, and it's time. There's not a lot going on in December.
No, nada.
I do all my shopping online, if that's what you're referring to. But
on the 24th.
Oh yeah. So
okay.
Let's talk about who's eligible for this thing, right?
Yes.
Like, it's really simple. There's two categories. There's your multifamily property manager or owner, operator, right? Developer, whatever that may look like. But you have properties and buildings and things like that. And then you have the suppliers, right? Those people that are supplying stuff to those businesses. And so there's very basic levels, and there's a lot of details to this, but the basic level of it is, to be eligible, you're talking about meeting some very general criteria. So we're talking about having a minimum of at least 15 full employees, full-time. I guess it's part-time. It could be part-time.
15 full or part-time employees.
And they need to be in the U.S., United States and or Canada. It's was it North America? No? Or no? U.S. and I don't know. Don't ask me.
I didn't know there was going to be a quiz
I'm still a student. But we also want you to be in business for at least a year, right? And most people that go through the program.
And this includes, you can be for-profit or nonprofit, public or privately held, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and most companies are one of those, right?
Well,
So the category criteria for multifamily management companies, owners, developers, those groups, you need to be getting at least 50% of your income from the management, acquisition, the development. Did I say management? And you need at least 500 units, right? So there is some level of benchmark. We don't believe that. 500 units. That's what it is. And for the vendors, suppliers, those that are creating innovations, technologies, and services to that industry, we're looking at least 50% of your income is coming from the services, the products that you have created, and you're bringing those to market. Like we need to know, like, you're invested in this industry, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you're probably wondering how long it takes to complete the employee survey. And that is about 10 to 15 minutes, right?
For the employee.
For the employee.
Yeah.
So
we made that
not bad.
So I ran national portfolio. We needed to make sure that process was frictionless, was easy, and that allowed them to have high levels of responses when they're sent out. Because, the good news is what we're seeing, those trends in the companies that are doing it right, is they're doing this research, they're asking the questions. So as they go through the program year in a year, we're seeing higher levels of responses to those surveys because employees are doing something with the data.
Right.
It's not like they're
right. The companies that participate year over year, the employees see, okay, it's time for this. I love this because when they get the data, they make improvements or they do more of what we like. They're actually making changes within the organization, and that speaks volumes to your team members.
Yeah. And
so
I want to emphasize the program this year is going to be absolutely amazing. You definitely don't want to miss out. Again, Friday is the deadline, August 12th. Don't wait till the last minute. You can was it multifamilyinnovation.com. Just click on awards or go to multifamilyinnovation.com/awards. That's but we do have some exciting things planned for that event.
Yeah.
So we like to surprise a little bit. I mean,
we don't give away all the details. We'll give you a general idea of what's happening, but if you've been to any of our events, you understand that we keep the magic. What's the phrase close to our? I don't know what the phrase is.
It's either heart or chest. I don't know the right.
I know. I wasn't sure either, so I didn't want to say it.
My heart.
Yes. But yeah, so we try to, make a great experience, and we just want you guys to come and celebrate. Your CEOs can come up on stage and make some remarks. It's really a fun time.
Yeah. And listen, hey, if you want to sponsor the awards program, like you want to get in front of this audience, you want to support those companies that are doing great things, this is a great way to do that. Just go to Multifamily Innovation. You look at the sponsorship opportunities, and you get involved in the Innovation Summit, and we take you along the ride for this whole celebration. And it's a 12-month celebration. So the people that go through this program this year, they will get a 2023 badge for being a Best Places to Work Multifamily. It's the official registered trademark, official designation for being the best employers in the in the industry.
We didn't even mention that. I'm so glad you brought that up, because you will receive that in December. So from that moment on, you've got, technically over a year, you've got all of 2023 to promote that badge in your email signatures, on your website, in your social media, in your job descriptions, whatever that may be. It's huge.
I see them on the header of their homepages and stuff like that.
I love it.
People are proud of it. It's we don't recognize what we've been recognizing companies for buying a lot of stuff for 80 years. But now you can get recognized for actually building a healthy organization, one that shows up for your customers, shows up for your employees, and creates yields for your investor owners. And to us, that's from the inside out. That's what it is to be truly the best, right? And so, listen, if you're sponsoring that, you're going to be supporting companies and the industry, elevating the industry, and we'll take you along the ride all year round for all those, notifications, the emails. We're doing podcasts with these companies. We're going to have Meet the Companies. We've been doing that. You've been doing Meet the Sponsors.
Meet the Sponsors for the Women's Summit.
Meet the Company podcast. That means we'll probably interview these executives on what's in that magazine and how did you create this organization and what was it like going from here to there and how did you move through this and that and what are you doing with your teams to drive talent and how are you thinking about these types of things around innovation? Because there's a lot coming in our industry, and it's worth mentioning those that are getting it right. So again, look, this is very important for our industry, and there's never been a better time to get involved. Both you, your company. And the people that support all that stuff. So again, reminding you that the deadline to register is this Friday,
but
August
don't
12th.
Wait.
Yeah, don't wait.
Do it now.
Just go there, start the process. You need to go to multifamilyinnovation.com/awards. Somebody put that in the comments.
I did.
You did it?
I did it earlier.
All right, but we got all these people here that are
new peeps.
They have keyboards right in front of you. So it's multifamilyinnovation.com. That's where the awards show and all the recognition is going to happen in December. If you click on awards, there's a red button. You can learn how to get your company started. So you want to stick around with this for these guys a little bit?
Let's say hello. Hold on. I'm just doing funny. Click the red button because you said that.
Click the red button.
Okay.
Hey, you have to what do I do? There's a lot of information. And you scroll down, you see who.
You can see all the.
We'll be recognizing those companies, and then we'll be putting that out there in front of all the things that we do all year round.
Yeah. Hey, Linda Groves, President. Thank you for joining us. MKJ from Chattanooga. Thanks for tuning in. Christina, I hope we answered your requirements for registration question. Thanks again. We got Dallas. We got a lot of Texas in the house. Oh, I see our very own Ryan Burgess. Thanks for putting that link in there, Ryan.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor, you can reach out to Ryan. He's in charge of all the partnerships. So and he'll be at the event as well. So all right, good stuff. So you guys want to hang out for a little bit? What else? I think we went over most of it.
I think so.
Most of what you need to know. Going through the process is the best way to experience it. And we have just a lot of great, amazing reviews and testimonials and people that have achieved high levels of success by doing this. Amazing, incredible companies, incredible executives that have done some fine things in the industry. So again, I think it's super important that we just continue to emphasize the importance of people and how these roles are evolving, and these roles are evolving into a collision of technology, a collision of different workplace experiences. There's people are in many cases working from home in some situations, and we're seeing centralized leasing take shape. We're seeing all kinds of things that will change the way that we operate, and it makes a whole lot of sense to ask these questions to our employees to get a sense of how can we minimize impacts to decisions that we make, and how do we make opportunities to celebrate those within the organization. And by doing so, we're actually attracting others to get excited about working in this industry and for you. So, what else? Anything else?
I don't think so.
What is today? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, thanks for registering for this. This is the first time we've done this live on LinkedIn, so it's been a great experience. Actually, we're on Facebook too. We're on the Twitters, the tweeters, and YouTube. And did I say Facebook?
I think so.
Very good.
Yeah.
So
let us know if this was helpful, and if you have any more questions that you didn't want to, ask here, that's fine. Feel free to reach out to either of us, and we are happy to help in any way.
Yeah, and if you're not following Multifamily Leadership's business page, do so now.
Yeah.
So you can stay up to date on
everything, on this, on all the events we have, everything. We got a lot. Our podcast. We got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Are you all out of words?
I only have a limited number of words in a day, and I have used them. You are just ready to go.
I have. So I didn't wear my the Apple Watch?
Oh.
The Apple Watch tracks my steps.
If it tracked his words, it would catch on fire.
Right. So I crystallize as I think as I talk. I'm like, and sometimes I'm just trying to motivate myself.
Yes.
To do more and to do better.
Yes.
But,
all right.
All right. So have a great week.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes.
Don't wait until Friday.
Do it now.
Go do it all now. And then if you have any questions, you still have time to reach out. But I think you got it. I think we went over all the good stuff.
Yes.
So go do it.
All right, guys. We'll see.